We've seen a lot of emotional NBA endings.
What can I say? Mamba out.
But what just happened to the Golden State Warriors might be the saddest of them all. Your starting small forward smoking wide open layups and clanking three-pointers.
Gives him another chance here.
Your offensive engine and defensive stopper throwing duds instead of dimes.
Last 9 games of the year.
Getting bullied in the paint.
His way in. Sabonis. Got it.
And your star shooting guard goes for a donut in the most important game all year.
They got away with one on Thompson, and so we get...
What is going on? The Kings were down 2 of their best scorers, yet the Warriors still lost the play-in by 24 points. Could this be the saddest ending of an NBA dynasty ever? Or can the Warriors save Steph Curry and their franchise?
The highest of highs, and this is the flip side. This is life. This is how it works. You don't... An off season where we've got a lot to think about for sure.
As the Golden State Warriors walked off the court last week, there was an uneasy feeling in the air. The once dominant Western Conference team looked like a shell of themselves. Curry is still Curry, but Draymond Green and Klay Thompson have taken a noticeable decline. Draymond has struggled to stay on the court this entire year, getting ejection after ejection. He nearly retired at one point.
This is too much. It's all becoming too much for me, and I'm going to retire.
Then came back and looked dominant.
Presence has upped, including Green, who hits a three.
Beach is driving. Draymond there to clean it up.
Both teams giving it their all. What a gut.
And then in this game looked like he wished he retired again.
In the last 9 games of the year.
His character and mental health have been seriously questioned all year. But the Warriors are still obligated to pay him $24 million per year until 2027. Meanwhile, Klay Thompson has been 100% healthy, only missing 5 games the entire season. But his consistent health hasn't translated to shooting consistency on the court. In some games, Klay looks like prime 62-point Klay.
His first 5 shots. Klay Thompson bottoms a 3 ball. Klay Thompson with another Klay 3. Oh, man.
And in others, he looks like Ben Simmons trying to find his jumper.
One-on-one with Trey.
Hunter has been out.
Thompson wants to redeem himself with that air ball.
But even with the streaky shooting this year, no one could have predicted this.
He's over and now making it.
I guess they got away with one on Thompson, and so we get...
Thompson, that quick release, no good. They could not get out of the 10 spot, though, as Klay Thompson missed.
Klay Thompson went 0 for 10 from the field and 0 for 6 from 3. That's 0 for 16.
There's Sabonis, and now Thompson lets it fly.
The same amount of points as you and me sitting at home on the couch. For the first time in his playoff career, Klay Thompson didn't score a single point in 32 minutes of NBA basketball. This summer, Klay is an unrestricted free agent, and after averaging nearly 18 points on comparable shooting splits to max contract players, Klay should be offered a contract in the $25 million per year range, even with his age. But does this look like a player you want to bet your franchise on for the next few years? The Warriors certainly believed he used to be the guy when they re-signed him while he was injured, and that panned out to a 2022 championship. But now that he's healthy and playing like this...
And now Thompson lets it fly. Thompson, that quick release, no good. He's over, and now making over. Here is Thompson. They were in the playoffs, pushing for the number 5 spot.
What do you do? Is there anything the Warriors can maneuver to salvage this franchise in 2025?
The Warriors are cooked. As I told y'all, this team is cooked. Y'all thought I was crazy.
Now, Charles Barkley says this team is cooked and thinks that they need to do something drastic. But he's also been painfully wrong about the Warriors before.
I don't like jump shooting teams. I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams shooting jumpers.
Don't forget, this Warriors team literally won a championship just 2 years ago. And back then, the narrative was that they were in a similarly cooked situation. In 2020, the Warriors failed to even qualify for the bubble. In 2021, they lost 2 straight play-in games and got knocked out of the playoffs. Then somehow they won a championship the very next year when all hope seemed lost. Was it just a fluke? Not really. Sure, Steph Curry went insane in the playoffs.
Assist for Green. Curry a long 3.
It's good!
Oh, Curry's got it. Corner 3. It's good. And wait for his teammates. Now step back. Splash!
But that season, Andrew Wiggins was a two-way menace. Dre and Klay were both locked in, and the team had one of the best defensive ratings in the league. Plus, Jordan Poole blossomed into a superstar right before our eyes. He averaged 17 points on 50% shooting and nearly 40% from three in the playoffs.
Poole with the ball. Launches.
Although I do agree with Charles Barkley in a sense. The 2022 Finals Championship wasn't a sign that the Golden State Warriors dynasty was still alive and well. More so, it was a testament to the greatness of Steph Curry and a good team built around him. In the last 5 seasons, the Warriors have missed the playoffs 3 times. Dynasties are supposed to dominate for years and years. They don't just have one championship, then disappear. Truly, the Dubs dynasty ended in 2019 when Klay got hurt. 2022 was just a beautiful band-aid on a withering team. So, from a dynasty standpoint, Chuck is right. This team is definitely cooked. But for the next few years, does the franchise have to be? Put yourself in the Warriors' shoes for a second and ask, how would you want this Steph Curry era to end? Iconically, like Jordan in the '98 Bulls?
Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Which makes for an awesome documentary. Tumultuously, like the 2000s Lakers? One unhappy star leaves while you keep another? Or do you want your star players to stay together and slowly ride off into retirement one by one like the Spurs? The first really isn't an option anymore. The second isn't an option you willingly choose and kinda already happened with Draymond and Jordan Poole. And the third option feels like quitting on Steph Curry, who definitely still has gas left in the tank. But this is what the Golden State Warriors are dealing with right now, trying to win and cope with Father Time. Not to mention, while they're dealing with this, the league has gotten better and better. Players have become taller, more athletic, and better shooters. It was once an advantage for the Warriors to go small with Green at the 5. Now it might be a disadvantage. Teams can match up with the speed in the Warriors small ball lineup and then still dominate them in the paint. So where do the Warriors go from here? Can they build around Steph Curry and somehow win another championship like they did in 2022? Well, they traded away their first-round picks, so no young players are coming in. Money is tight, with Klay coming up for a new contract, Draymond being re-signed until 2027, and a 38-year-old Chris Paul potentially being paid another $30 million. The Warriors are running out of options, unless one man changes his mind. With Bob Myers gone, Curry has the biggest voice in the organization, and the Warriors will follow his every move. Will Steph force his hand and tell the Warriors to provide him with more help? LeBron did that to get AD. Giannis recruited Dame. Now what about Steph? Does Steph want to bring in more firepower? Or does he want to keep the big three together for one last run at a championship? According to Draymond, Steph wants to run it back.
Right after the game, in the Kings locker room, I said, I love you, bro. It's like, I love you too. We ain't done. You right. Got it. Noted. Cool.
Maybe the Warriors move Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins, clear up some cap space, and make a big splash in free agency. Paul George has a player option. Pascal Siakam is an unrestricted free agent. What about Malik Monk? Or maybe they try to swing a deal with Bronny James Jr. in hopes to land LeBron James. $55 million through Wiggins and Paul is a lot of money. Or maybe Steph was telling Draymond we'll run it back, but not with Klay. That would be devastating. But it's entirely possible, especially if Klay plays hardball with the Warriors and goes for a max contract. Or will Steph do something completely unthinkable and leave, like Shaq did when he left for Miami to play with a young D. Wade? If Steph leaves Golden State, betting odds say he's favored to go to the Spurs, creating a duo of himself and Victor Wembanyama. Imagine that pick and roll. How do you even guard that? All eyes will be on Steph Curry this offseason, and whatever goes down will 100% revolve around him. Does Steph want new role players and young talent to push for a playoff run? Will he try to negotiate a low price for Klay Thompson in hopes to keep the Splash Bros together? Or will there be no changes, and we're going to witness one of the saddest endings to an NBA dynasty ever? Let me know in the comments below.